Hello and welcome to my stupid little tutorial on how to make kick design. So here's what you're going to want to do. Step 1, drag a nice long 808 sample in. I will choose this one. Put it right here. Put it right here at the beginning. You're going to want to set your tempo to whichever tempo you want. I will choose this one. Now, this will be designing the punch of your kick. How I always do this is to separate my punch and my bass. I have two parts of the kick, and I make the second one unique, and now I just sort of fade between the two, and I will teach you how to do that later. Step 1 is to turn the second one off, because right now we're only working on the punch frequency. So route this to insert 1.
Piep kick.
The first type of kick we will be working on is just a standard kick that you've heard a million times. Since you've already got the punch on track 1, what you're going to do now is just put some distortion on it. Drag this all the way up, and put this just a little bit up here, just to get some harmonics out of it. We have now magically transformed our 808, our sine wave, into a square. This has many harmonics, which we can get out of it with one of these things. To make the first type of kick that we're going to be making today, we're going to want to drag these bands all the way up here. Now what we want to do here is turn these down. Ooh, you hear that? That's starting to sound nice. Now you turn this into a low pass by dragging down until you get here. Drag this all the way down and put that here. Then we get our old friend wave shaper and distort. That obviously doesn't sound very nice on the ears, but here's the fun part. This is where we make the tail. Route this to a different insert entirely. Add another distortion. This time, push it all the way to the top. Now that we have it all the way at the top, it's going to sound like also a nice square wave. Then we get some more harmonics out of it, but we don't want as many harmonics. So just do this a little bit, just to give it a nice texture. Then we distort again. If it's not sounding very nice, we can just play with these a little bit, maybe turn this all the way down. When you're designing the tail, a lot of it is just playing around with the way that the EQ works. So you might want to turn some parts down. Little changes in the EQ can make big changes in the way that the kick sounds after you distort. Then what you want to do is turn this all the way down. Sips from the future here, do not actually turn it all the way down, leave a little bit of space. Add a fruity balance right here. Create an automation clip. Enable everything. Drag down to create this sort of envelope right here. That's sounding kind of gross. It's so quiet. Route them both to this insert. Now that they're on insert 3, you just wave shape the living shit out of insert 3. And now you have a kick sounding like this. I'll play it after consolidating it. I'll play it over and over again. When you consolidate, there's probably a better way to do this, but what I always do is I drag them all up to the top, consolidate the track from start, hit start, make sure it's set on leave remainder, and now we have this sound right here. We simply loop this, and it starts sounding like this here.
Piep kick.
The next kick we made is pretty much made in the exact same way, except that you bring this all the way up, you add pogo to the tail, and then you just play with the EQ on the tail a bit more, and already you have it sounding nice. This is your standard piep kick. Perfect. If you want to give a little more texture to your piep kicks, then what I always do is I'll add sort of a double hit here by creating this fancy little EQ thing. So now we have this, right? That part is just optional. You don't have to do that. I'm going to get rid of it now. You can make these as high as you want. You can bring this down here for like kind of GPF territory. Or you can go full UOK and move them all the way up here. For full UOK, you're also going to want to make the EQ and the bass a lot more drastic. Which brings me to my next kind of kick, the sort of shiny kick that y'all were talking about. And how you achieve this is actually quite simple. Remove the pogo on this tail here. Next, what you want to do is have two separate sort of peepy EQs here. We're going to move to the bass now. So EQ this the same way that you would the other one. Just bring these down. Make sure to let the bass shine through over all of it. If you're having trouble doing this, just do that, but it shouldn't be an issue. What I find Unicorn and Ketamine does is always makes the sort of punches of his kicks really short, like this. Even shorter sometimes. There we go. Here's another pro tip. If you want to get your kick sounding nice and shiny, like UOK's does a lot, you want to drag a chorus before the parametric EQ. And then turn these down a little bit. Stereo all the way down. Make the EQ a little less severe. Consolidate it all. That's the sound. Actually making the track, I don't know, I don't have a soundbite for this one. Now we route this to a new sampler channel, and we can just... Now, another bit that I wanted to throw in was how to do good sort of kick rolls. And this is very easy. What I always do is I always double click the kick that I've just consolidated. That one right there in my case. Right click it, go open in new sampler channel, and now you'll get this little thing right here. Go to the piano roll and just write your kicks in here. After you've done that, the way that you make your kick rolls is actually also quite simple. You just kind of shorten your kicks, pitch them all over the place. Try not to make them too fast. The fastest you want them to go is like steps for just like standard kick rolls, and the longest you want them to last is 3 beats at the end of the measure. They don't even need to make any sense. They can just be all over the place. Just that's pretty much everything that you need to know about making kicks. Now, after you finish making your kicks, you just want to make a new arrangement for your actual song. Draw your pattern in, put a clever sample before it all, stretch it nicely to get it to fit, distort the living shit out of your sample, route your kicks to a new insert, distort the living shit out of them as well. And now, you have a track that is quality for some reason.
Piepkicks.
Thanks for watching and have a cool time.